Irina Sendler, in the simplest term, is a saint. Sendler took a stand when she defied Adolf Hitler's orders that there is to be no aid to those of the Jewish religion. In doing so, she saved over 2,500 Jewish children by smuggling them out of the Warsaw Ghetto during World War II. Sendler's courage and wit is lived on today by the cast of Life in a Jar, the Irina Sendler Project. The war against the Jewish faith started on the 30th of January 1933 when Adolf Hitler was elected the Chancellor of Germany. According to The Boycott of Jewish Businesses, the six-pointed Star of David was painted in yellow and black across thousands of doors and windows. Signs are posted saying, "Don't buy from Jews, and the Jews are a misfortune." These terrible things carried on and only got more cruel and unethical. It was in the March of 1933 that the first concentration camp, or rather a camp of terror, was built in Germany and was named Dachau.
I, as a Member of Parliament, with 9 others, visited Buchenwald concentration camp. Some people believe that the reports of what happened there are exaggerated. No words could exaggerate. We saw and we know. We were able to speak freely with internees and to hear their stories. You will now see a few of the sights we saw, and much as they may shock you, do believe me when I tell you that the reality was indescribably worse than these pictures. You cannot photograph suffering, only its results. In pictures you have no smell of disease and death. Here you see no more than a fragment of the full pattern of horror. When they had died, they were either burnt in these ovens or thrown like vermin into large communal pits.
From that point on, things got worse, leading up to the German invasion of Poland on September 1st, 1939. According to Germany Invades Poland, Adolf Hitler sought to regain lost territory and ultimately rule Poland. About 1 year later, October 12, 1940, the Germans decreed the establishment of a ghetto in Warsaw, the same town that was home to a young Catholic woman by the name of Irina Sendler. As said before, Irina Sendler is a saint. In a statement from Life in a Jar, the Irina Sendler Project, as early as 1939, when the Germans invaded Warsaw, Sendler began helping Jews by offering them food and shelter despite it being frowned upon. Not to mention, after Irina smuggled the children out of the Warsaw Ghetto, she worked alongside the Zagota, which is a secret group of Polish activists working to save and aid the Jewish people. She did this by working tirelessly to find families and orphanages either volunteering to take in children or willing to take them in with a bribe from the Zagota. This job was hard. In an interview with Magda Rusnik, one of Sendler's close friends, she described the danger of living with a Jewish child during World War II. Any Jew that was caught with a non-Jew, the non-Jew's family and himself were killed on spot. Irina Sendler took a stand when she defied the orders of Adolf Hitler that there is to be no help to those of the Jewish religion. Many people question why he did this. As said by Why Did Adolf Hitler Hate the Jews?, Hitler and the Nazis said that the Jews were responsible for huge events like losing World War I and the economic crisis, even though it was false. In defying Hitler's orders, Sendler saved over 2,500 children by smuggling them out of the Warsaw Ghetto. Sendler and her team started by doing other things to help the Jewish people. In an interview, Sendler recalls where things changed when she saw the children leaving the Korzak orphanage. The children marched, holding dolls that are made for them with love, and all the while, what was waiting for them at the end of their journey was the great German invention, Zyklon B. This affected me so profoundly that my mother had to call an ambulance. I was devastated. I knew that they were going to the front yard and to their death. Very quickly, we realized that the only way to save the children was to get them out. Sendler, being a social care nurse at the Warsaw City Council's Health and Care Department, already had many contacts, including Julius Mechkowski, the director of urban sanitation workers. Julius gave passes to Sendler and her trusted group of helpers that said that they were workers, so that they could get into the ghetto and start saving the children. Sendler worked with the Zagota and other secret contacts like Julius to smuggle children out. They did this by hiding the children in many different ways that included hiding them in trucks, coming in and out of the ghetto, locking them in boxes and coffins, and much more. But before any of this could happen, all the children had to learn perfect Polish, since most of them only spoke Yiddish, a language that was mainly spoken by those of the Jewish faith. They also had to learn Christian prayers, new identities, and new lives. Irina's story is still told today by a Hallmark movie and now a traveling play titled Life in a Jar, the Irina Sendler Project. In 1999, 2 ninth graders, Megan Stewart, Elizabeth Cambers, and an 11th grader, Sabrina Coons from Kansas, decided to do a National History Day project with encouragement from their teacher, Norman Conrad. The idea for the project came when Mr. Conrad showed them a short clipping from a March 1994 issue of the News and World Report, which said, Irena Sendler saved many children and adults from the Warsaw Ghetto in 1942. At first, they thought it might be a typographical error as none of them had heard of Sendler, but they decided to start research anyways. They discovered numerous sources of information and turned their research into a play, which is still shown today all over the world. Irena Sendler took a stand when she defied Adolf Hitler and saved over 2,500 Jewish children by sneaking them out of the Jewish ghetto. This was completely illegal during Hitler's 12-year reign of terror over Eastern and Central Europe as the Führer of Germany. Irena Sendler and her team risked their lives to save Jewish children, and because of that, those who were saved were able to live to adulthood and accomplish great things. Elżbieta Fikowska, a survivor, helped put together the Irena Sendler Awards, which rewards teachers and others for good deeds. Sadly, Irena Sendler died May 12, 2008 at 98 years old, but she is still known as a hero.